Entertainment news today. It's such a dragon gay. Everything sucks and it's no good. That comes out of Hollywood. But there's one place you can go to get all your news and info, and maybe even have a laugh or two. You know it's true. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark. But need never stops. We will keep going through the night as we keep up the culture fight. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark.
Greetings and welcome. It is Thursday. It's time for Midnight's Edge After Dark, your favorite show on the YouTubes, whether you like it or not. I am Tom Connors. We have with us a panel of fine gentlemen and a Canadian. I'm just picking on CC today. All sorts of Canadian picking on him. How you doing, CC?
Who are you calling fine?
Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. Just playing video games.
What the fuck, Canuck? Come on, let's go.
Well, come on. I'm actually quite excited about the Trailer Park Boys coming back. I've been waiting.
I saw that.
For
You
years.
were pretty excited. I was giving you shit. That's why I was giving you so much shit.
I'm a big fan of the show, so that was good news for me.
Typical fucking Canadian. That takes precedent over everything else. Like, there could be an assassination today, and he'd be like, well, yeah, but Trailer Park Boys is coming.
You're not wrong.
Fucking Canadians. No, we love you. Welcome to the program, CC. Hopefully you're doing well, and I'm glad to hear you're excited about the Trailer Park Boys coming back.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yes, indeed. We have Neek. All 32 flavors of Neek Weiser here. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I feel well rested after I had an energy drink and a delicious juicy burger. And I feel like I'm feeling pretty good right now. I told the guys before the show that I loved it so much. I was looking at pictures of it still. So I'm like, it was like, I miss you, burger. Please come back to me.
How the fuck do you eat like a 12-year-old yet you still look like a 12-year-old? This is not even fucking fair.
Someday, Nick. Someday,
it was so
will
juicy. You should have seen it. Like with the Texas toast bread, it had like a garlicky tinge to it, and the smoky barbecue sauce and the grilled onions. Oh, dude!
You say this, Mark,
I Randy Marshed all over this burger, cream.
I was say you say that, Mark, but Nick is like one of those dudes that's gonna be like Keith Richards. We're like, when he gets older, we're gonna be like, what is your secret, motherfucker? He's like, I don't know. I eat like shit. I act like I'm 15.
That's true.
Maybe that's the secret. It's like, motherfucker, give me a Twinkie. Jesus Christ.
I had a friend. Oh, sorry. As I go.
No, I was going to introduce you anyway. Go ahead, Mark. How you doing?
Yeah, doing good, hanging in there. But I had a friend who, in high school, and we played hockey and trained. And one time, Nick, you would have loved my friend Brian back the way he ate. So we went to McDonald's, and his order was like 2 Big Macs, 3/4 pounds of cheese, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 large fries, and then like 3 apple pies. And he's like, and I'll have a milk. Like the end, he'd always add like a milk. And the
My
girl's like,
man.
That's almost worse than the Diet Coke.
right? And a
At
milk.
least he knows to just go for the regular Coke. It drives me crazy. People are like, I want 20 McNuggets, a McFlurry, 4 double cheeseburgers, oh, and a Diet Coke. It's like, bitch,
Coke.
just go for the fucking Coke. Stop being
Yeah,
a
so
bitch.
So then the girl at the counter goes, "Oh, how are you splitting that?" I'm like, "No, that's just his order." Like,
Jesus.
you looked at him like, "What?" Like, no, that's back when we're burning like thousands of calories a day training all the time. But yeah, just now he's a skinny bastard too. Again, still a skinny bastard. So yeah, maybe Nick, hopefully you will stay skinny. God bless you.
Well,
Yes,
I've always said if I can last 50
He's got good
years,
genes.
if I can last 50 years, I'll be happy because that's half a century. Half a century is good. If it happens, if my life goes wrong after 50, it's called worth it. Right now, I got about 12 years to go.
I'm not good with that. I got to make it to like 90. I'm just getting started.
Right?
Well, I'm
No
not talking about in
kidding.
terms of life and death. I'm talking about if I had to like start gaining weight at 50. 50 years of eating whatever the hell I want is a good run.
Yeah, you're right. If that starts happening, it's all over.
Well, last but definitely not least, we have Professor R2 with us here today. How you doing, Professor?
Well, I did not last 50 years before I started gaining weight. I'll tell you that right now. I did get to 45 before I needed glasses. That was pretty good.
Oh, wow, you're lucky. I'm getting to that point now where every time I go in for glasses, they're like, what do you think about bifocals? I'm like, I think fuck you. Because I'm like, I'll rather do this shit all day long than have fucking bifocals. No.
Oh man, yeah. They talked to my wife into some of those, and she's not been very happy with them. So
yeah, and that's one of the I can't. It's like I can't see
else
as it is.
Everyone else in my family needed glasses by the time they got out of high school. So making it to 45.
Sadly, I've had mine since 3rd grade. So
yeah.
But anyhow, let's get into this program here. We got deleted scenes. Steven in the house. How you doing, buddy? He has become a member. Thought he already was a member, but hey,
maybe he rejoined and became a bigger member.
He may have become a bigger member. It looks like he did.
Oh, see,
he got a
your
very
anaconda.
big member. That's right. He's got an anacongo. That's where the anacondas meet the Congo.
Stop eating my sesame cake. Stop eating my sesame cake!
I don't care what anybody says. That movie's awesome. Jason Webster says in 5. Jason Webster says, good on Gina Carano. She, in quotations, won, and by achieving her objective that Disney was held accountable for unjustly buying. If I could speak, blah, 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 that's all, folks. Yep. Good on Gina Carano. She won, and by achieving her objective that Disney was held accountable for unjustly firing her. Well, I guess that's one way of looking at it, and we're going to talk about that as we get started here. And we also got Darth Maul's lower half here, sending in 10 euros. It says, congratulations to Gina. How do you pull out your wallet? I don't know how.
Very carefully.
Do you like hold it in your butt cheeks? And then I can't even figure that one out. Congratulations to Gina. Love her. Wish her all the best. This feels like a hollow victory. After all they put her through, and us, the fans, I hoped for more dirty Disney laundry, and they got away easy. Yeah, sadly, I had to tell all the guys in the DM group that they're taking a pay cut, and Christmas is canceled because we're not getting Discovery. So,
yeah, that's sad. That was sad. I was hoping for Discovery, but
good for Gina. And yeah, Disney was held accountable, at least financially, to a point for how much we don't know. Probably never will. But I'm not so sure that this is the win we see it as. But let's get into this. Why not? Let's talk about it, because Gina dropped a statement. We also have a few other things to go over here. So let's start here with the Variety article where it says, Gina Carano, Disney settle legal dispute over Mandalorian firing. We look forward to identifying opportunities to work together in the future. That is some of the most lawyer speak I've ever heard in my life.
Of course it is.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I mean, I think it's safe to say we all know what it means. It's just like, hey,
You can identify all the opportunities you want.
yeah.
That doesn't mean you're doing shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll totally
Well, this
look
is
at the
also one
possibility.
Boy, that
Not
looks
a-
like an opportunity for Gina. Too bad we won't hire her.
Yeah, and that could be the case. That could be.
I could be totally wrong, and she could be in the Mando movie. They could be setting something up to shoot from some scenes for her right now, and she could get her whole show back. We don't know yet. Let's see what this article has to say. It says, Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company have reached a mutual agreement, mutual being the operative word here, agreement in their legal dispute with Gina Carano following the firing from Mandalorian. A Lucasfilm spokesman said in a statement provided to Variety, and I quote, Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement with Gina Carano to resolve the issue in her pending lawsuit against companies. Against the companies, Miss Carano was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff, and she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Miss Carano in the future.
I love the way they worded that.
I know,
brilliant.
right? It has got so many loopholes in there.
Well respected by her directors,
Yeah.
Co-stars.
And staff.
staff, not producers,
Yep.
not executives.
Yep. You notice that too. And did you also notice this is the most non-apology I've ever seen in my life?
I don't think
yeah.
it's intended to be an apology.
Like if I was this person's girlfriend, I'd be like, that is the worst apology I've ever heard. Go back and try again and do better.
That was an
try-
attempt as an
try
apology. I don't see it, but I don't think it's intended to be one.
No, I don't think it is either.
No. The apology has dollar signs attached to it, I guess.
To me, a non-apology is something like, I'm sorry for the way you feel, something like that. Or I'm sorry, that's how you interpret it. To me, that's a non-apology. This to me is just, this is a statement she was okay with them releasing. And it's the opposite of when they're using the word abhorrent to obviously defame her.
But of course, they need to keep beating that drum no matter what. And I think that's why, honestly, I don't know if I can call this a big, huge win, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was gonna say there's two sides, right? Gina, if she's happy with this,
Yes.
then I'm happy for her.
Yes.
As a fan, this is not a win for me.
No. Yes. I agree. That's the best way to put it, CC. So we have her actual statement here. I have come to an agreement with the Disney Lucasfilm, which I believe will... let me make this a little bit bigger. It's really small. That's what she said. Not Gina, but somebody else probably. I've come to an agreement with Lucasfilm and Disney, which I believe is best outcome for all parties involved. I hope this brings some healing to the Force. I'm glad. Now that when she said that, hopefully that's a sign for things to come, but we'll see. I wanted to extend my deepest and most heartfelt gratitude to Elon Musk, a man I've never met who did this good Samaritan deed for me in funding my lawsuit. Thank you, Mr. Musk and X, for backing my case and asking for nothing in return. To my lawyers at Cheryl Jaffe, or Cher Jaffe, however you say it, who walked me through this in unknown territory, thank you for your wisdom and guidance. I'm humbled and grateful to God for his love and grace in this outcome. I'd like to thank you all for your unrelenting support throughout my life and career, and you've been the heartbeat and has kept my story alive. I hope to make you proud. I am excited to flip the page and move on to the next chapter. My desires remain in arts, which is where I hope you will join me. Yes, I'm smiling. From my heart to yours, Gina. So yeah, I mean, sounds like she's happy for the most part and good for her. I don't know if this is the outcome that anybody really wanted in the end, even though that's what she says here.
I mean, I guess like my
Things
first
may have
thought
changed
was,
along the way as this was
Yeah.
going on. There may have been, obviously, this is just theorizing. I have nothing to base this off of. What she wanted initially could have changed, and this is before maybe even the dollar signs. Now, could that have persuaded her? Maybe, but I think once they actually were negotiating and trying to unblacklist her, maybe she started having more of an open mind towards being in the arts, because she's made that there's one thing she has been consistent on is she's been one to work on art. That's one thing she's not let go of. And this gives her the power to do exactly that thing. So I think if she had to, or maybe she got some and she lost some, but she got the thing that she wanted the most, and that was a career again. So maybe, to me, I don't see Disney losing. I don't see Gina losing. The only people who I see losing out of this is let's just say all the crazy far left activists who make social media their life. They're acting like this is the most crushing thing in their life, like they're going through trauma. For them, this is the hugest loss they've ever suffered.
Right, the career part is still unclear to me, because unless there's actually some sort of agreement that's going to, allow her to work and have opportunities, that lawyer speak doesn't say anything other than they could just totally never hire her again anyway.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, of course.
And speaking of that, we have somebody who actually works inside the industry who's joining us now, Mr. Script Doctor.
Hey,
and I'm sure he's no more surprised by this outcome than anybody else is, because I'm not really all that surprised. I'm just disappointed. More so disappointed.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed too. I knew that she would never win this case because of certain other stipulations, but I was hoping she would take it the distance for discovery purposes, because that's where you really hurt Disney.
Absolutely. Yeah, discovery was what I think everyone was really looking forward to.
Yeah, because when I read the initial complaint, and I've been in many arguments throughout many streams, like 2 years ago when this was initially filed, because I'd always ask, well, what show was Gina Carano fired from? And everyone would speculate, oh, The Mandalorian or Rangers of the New Republic. But there was never a contract for her to join season 3 of The Mandalorian. There was never a contract for her to be on Rangers of the New Republic. It was all talks in the early stages. And you cannot be fired from something that you didn't have. And I thought it was foolish for her lawyers to put that in there, because I think the strongest case that she had was basically Disney trying to compel her to cooperate with certain things in exchange for the promise of work, because that's abuse and that's against the law. And that's what should have been the first and only complaint on there, because I think that is a stronger case to stand on. And I suspect because of this settlement that her lawyers basically said the same thing, is like, well, we can go to discovery, but what's going to happen is that we're going to be able to prove that you have, quote unquote, lied to your fan base by saying that you were fired from Disney, when we have all these records that say you were never an employee after you completed your season 2 contract of The Mandalorian. And I think that might have gotten, I don't think it would have scared her, but it might have scared her lawyers. And
the fans wouldn't have seen that as lying.
The fans might not have seen that as lying, but Disney would be completely truthful in that situation, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, look, if she needed the money to just live on, I can understand that. It's like, hey, you know what? Just live comfortably, have a good life. I get that. But I mean, I agree. It's like, well, did you need the money? Or is this about something? Did you get something else that I'm just not clear on yet? Because discovery would have been certainly something. So unless there's something that they're not talking about, some sort of agreement, something that she's going to get other than money, I'm at a loss for that.
Well, plus going through a lawsuit is quite a toll on a person too. So
I can vouch on that.
Yeah, unfortunately, right?
But, there's a lot that goes into this. So, it's a lot of moving parts. But what I'm seeing here that I think is, yes, I mean, as far as all parties go, as far as this outcome being a situation where she got paid, her lawyers got paid.
Oh, yeah.
Disney did at least admit some kind of wrongdoing, whether it was through actual paying her monies, that it was actually admitting any wrongdoing per se.
Well, admitting wrongdoing by saying publicly we don't admit wrongdoing.
Yeah, basically,
yeah.
And then you also have here where it doesn't matter after this point, because in this, with it being dismissed with prejudice, she can't talk negative about Disney ever again. But that also means they probably can't talk negative about her. Correct. So to me, it feels like a very hands-washed situation. And I know she says it was best for all involved, which is probably true. All involved with the case, absolutely. Was it the best for the fans? Was it the best for Hollywood?
Probably
I don't know.
Not. No,
I don't think so.
Hollywood,
and I agree with
books,
Script, because there was a big issue here, and the issue was more so that she was promised this work if she went through these fucking struggle sessions.
Yep.
And that was the case she had. And there's probably about a half a dozen other people that were hoping this was going to go through, because if this would have went through and that was the case they were actually putting to trial, and she had won that case, that would have meant that would have set a precedent for so many other people who had been put through the same fucking thing, whether it was in Hollywood or the medical industry or a cop or fucking
private
you
industry,
name it.
private finance,
Exactly.
you name it. Yeah.
And that is the thing here that I see as a bigger disappointment. Now, at the end of the day, if I could be wrong. They could turn around and put her in The Mandalorian. She could get her show back. And that was part of what she was asking for. And if that's the case, then I'm like, okay, yeah, she did get a bit more of a win than I see here at this moment in time. And it is early yet. We don't know what was in this. We may never know what's all completely in this and how much she got and all that kind of business. And I guarantee you probably will never find out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm certain that's probably something that's been stipulated that they're not allowed to talk about.
The things we will see will be, is she in The Mandalorian? Is she going to get another Rangers of the Republic show? Because one of her big things going into this case is that she wanted to be a part of Star Wars still going forward. And we'll see if that's even possible, which I don't think it is with Kathleen Kennedy in the house.
Well, and after the last couple of years, I'm not sure now that she does want to be part of Star Wars anymore.
And that's the other big question. Does she even really want to, right? Like, I mean, she's made it sound like she still does.
I think if she got her own show, that would be phenomenal. And then,
yeah,
you don't know what all these details are, but yeah, she does want to work. Yeah, we didn't get Discovery, but we all know what's there, right? We all know that there's emails probably talking about, blackballing her and not hiring her, even though technically she didn't get fired, but saying, oh, if she doesn't toe the line. And the other thing is not equal treatment of other actors, like Pedro Pascal or the actors who, Mark Ruffalo. It's blatant. That's why we would have loved to see it go to trial or at least the Discovery. But the double standard is blatant.
Where I can see why they wanted to settle it on both sides, because nobody wanted to turn this into another Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation where you're dragging in people from Hollywood, right? Because that's what would end up happening. Is you'd have had to put Pedro Pascal on the fucking stand. You'd have had to put Jon Favreau or whatever, and all these other people that were involved, maybe even Kathleen Kennedy. It would have turned into a fucking circus show. And even though we would have been able to see it, yeah, but that's why I said fucking Christmas is canceled, God damn it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded watching that. Train wreck.
I get where the idea comes from of going through these legal things, not to make it about me, but I've been in this stuff. It's long, it's exhausting, it's a massive undertaking. And when you go in, granted, it's just my life experience, but when you go in and what you get out of it, sometimes something has to give. Because especially with the legal system, it's not a justice system, it's a legal system. There is definitely giving and taking.
That's a good point, Nick. Yeah.
And I'll say it's something I don't encourage anyone to deal with in their life unless you are unless you can really definitively prove your case on something, because it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. And even when you can prove it, you'll still have things going against you anyway, because the legal system, especially in a state like California, you got to keep that in mind too. California, this stuff is hardcore, right? And for her to even get this out of California is shocking. I mean, I thought the outcome of this is going to be worse, but hey, if the loony activists are mad about it, I'm glad that they're mad about it. So yeah, it's unfortunate we'll never get the Discovery, but hopefully this does set a precedent going forward. You just can't blacklist people, due to, I guess you could say, different thoughts of ideological leanings. So I'm hoping that will be something that they see, okay, well, now someone like Elon Musk can fund that type of thing and get them right back in if we do this again. So maybe there could be that going forward. Now, is that wishful thinking on my part? Yeah, probably. But I'm just trying to at least entertain it from all angles because, well, that's the least we should all be doing.
Well, hopefully, other companies know they can't get away with this now too. It'll be
that's what I was
it's a warning across the bow that, hey, we're not kicking. There's a new sheriff in town here, and with Musk willing to bankroll anyone who got fired for a Twitter statement, that's pretty powerful. Richest man in the world in your corner. I wonder if Disney actually had to pay the lawyers' fees too, because that's what happens in these settlements too. You've got to pay
I'm sure that's what
pay the legal fees. Yeah. But I mean, this would have cost millions and millions of dollars of time and money.
Oh yeah, I'm sure this cost Disney a pretty penny. I don't know who made the joke. It was I think it was Yellow Flash who made the joke that Gina Carano is now the highest paid actor in the Star Wars universe. And he's probably not fucking wrong. if you want to get technical about it. Like, we don't know how much she just got paid. And not only that, I mean, if you want to compare it to, the only other person I could say who probably has walked away with more money than anybody else has to be Harrison Ford. Because I'm sure he got a nice fat fucking payday for The Force Awakens. And he's probably the only one who's ever really made much money off of the Star Wars films besides George Lucas and you can't even say Disney. I was just about to say Disney. But even Disney, you could argue, may have not actually made money yet off of Star Wars.
Oh, I'd say her lawyers have made more money than Disney has made off
You're
of Star
probably
Wars.
right. Their profit margin is much higher. Hell, our profit margin is probably much higher when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And we had zero investment in the shit other than time. No, it's just more of a kind of a, it sucks because it does feel like it should be kind of a win, but I see through the trees seeing this, man, the win that it could have and should have been, not just for Gina Carano, not just for Star Wars fans, but like I was saying before, just for people in general, right? And a nation that needs the healing right now, where people need to admit that, yeah, there's a lot of people that were either fired, ostracized, publicly, dragged through the mud over stupid shit like this. And that's another argument Gina probably had, was that she was publicly, made unhireable, right? Because it wasn't just the first initial thing. There was other statements that were made later on she probably could have and had probably in her pocket to use. But at that point, they just didn't want to fucking drag this out for years. Disney didn't even want to bother, which means that they probably had something in those emails that were going to damn them. And they knew it. And that's why they didn't want that shit getting out.
And I mean, that's part of this, right? Because I mean,
so my question is, how much did Kathleen Kennedy just cost the company? Sorry, Cece, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, was she on a list? Is she off the list? Would that even matter at this point? Because people are gonna,
well, that's just that the list is just kind of like this Fugazi thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean shit. Who's actually going to hire her now, unless, people want to make, basically cash in on her winning this case somehow. I don't understand.
She'll probably get hired by the same companies that hired Kevin Sorbo and Dean Cain. So she'll make a good living. She'll be able to still express art and stuff. But I mean,
she's not going to be in the next Deadpool movie is my point. But anyway, CC,
we may be moving into a time where hotness is actually on sale again. And she is hot. So, I mean, I would say she's even hotter than Sydney Sweeney, personally. Whether you agree with me or not, I would say that she has very good genes. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, whether or not she was on some sort of do not hire list, we are actually moving into a time, I hope, in which people of her beauty might actually, be of interest to people to hire her. So
I want to believe that. I want to believe that, but I mean, basically what you and a lot of people are saying in the chat is she's going to have the same fucking opportunities she already had. Because when she was already blacklisted. Like, that's what it sounds like to me, or feels like to me. I could be wrong. I hope I'm fucking wrong.
That's the other side I'm coming from here. Is like, even if there was some agreement in this where Disney would take her off of whatever list they had her on, I don't know that's going to make a difference. Whatever. Me either.
And that's what I'm saying with this lawyer speak, right? Like, oh yeah, we're trying to identify opportunities to work with her in the future. That doesn't mean shit.
No.
Yeah.
They've been allowed to say like, oh, here we're hiring Gina now, or that would just kind of like when bad for Disney.
Well, kind of like when Script and I say that development doesn't mean shit.
That's right. You know how many jobs I've been promised that didn't go through? I would love to be able to sue for wrongful termination for those.
Well, right. And she, like, the way it's stated, it's like, yes, we're trying to identify jobs that we could work with her. It doesn't mean we're going to hire her. It doesn't say that she's been rehired. Doesn't say that she's going to be in the next man. And again, let's be fair.
That could have been in the paperwork we don't see.
It could be something that's being worked out yet. Again, like I said, could be. I could be completely wrong. And the next thing you know, in the next 2 weeks here, we get some fucking photos of her, back in her garb for Star Wars, and she's shooting some end credit sequences for Mando, setting up her show, and I could be completely wrong, eating crow.
But that'd be awesome, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, and if that's the case, good for her. That is a win. That is a huge win.
Yeah.
Well, it's a win for Disney because they'll sell merch.
Hopefully. Well, that's just
for a while.
That's the other side of this.
Can I get my Gina action figure that got canceled, please?
Does she even want to fucking come back? at this point. We brought that up. Yeah, she's expressed that. But like as Deadpool said, she's kind of entering the franchise at a low point, even lower than was when she first joined it in some ways.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, yeah,
if she was like somehow got like a piece of the merchandise sales, because she's definitely merchandise.
Yeah, I don't know how that deal worked out. I mean, although that was one of her arguments, is that she was missing out on, so she must have gotten something from it, I would assume.
Probably
Like,
got paid.
I would have been way more excited about Rangers of the New Republic back after season 2 of Mando than I am now. But I mean, if you put her in that show now, and it was a good show that was in isolation, I'd watch it because she's in it.
I'd give it give it the 3-episode try.
Yeah,
I would. It would be the first time I would have given a Star Wars show a try in several years. I'd give it a 3-episode shot, and if it's good, I'll continue. If it's not, well, hey, happy Gina's working again, but show's not for me.
Yeah.
Well, I give this a snowball's chance in hell that at any point, while KK is still working with Lucasfilm, that she's hired to do
bingo.
anything.
Unless
Period.
I agree with you, R2, because unless the rumors are true that she's actually out of the fold, or at least the main fold, in the next few 6-7 months or whatever it's supposed to be, then yeah, I don't see any future where Gina is hired back. Now, let's just say for the sake of theory / argument that KK is actually going to retire this at some point in the next year. Then maybe, just maybe, there's that possibility. But you've already blown your opportunity of having Gina in the Mando movie. She wasn't in the last season of the show. The last season of the show did horribly. And who the fuck tuned into Ahsoka? Nobody.
Oh.
Dude, I swear most people that tuned into Acolyte were either A, shippers that were that's what the show was made for, or B, people that were just hate watching it like us. And that's the only reason
Zach said it was good. I had to throw that in. Sorry.
They didn't save as many lives as the Eternals, though, Nick. That's the problem.
No.
And so, yeah, they're at this point where there's like, what were we looking forward to? Ahsoka season 2 in the Mando movie that is basically a joke at this point. And I feel like Baby Yoda's overstayed his welcome at the, like, I don't see the.
They haven't done anything with Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like,
Yeah.
54-year-old, whatever species he is, doesn't know how to speak. That's.
Yep.
That sounds, well, that is usually a child that'd be institutionalized in a medical facility.
Maybe
because,
he's
on the
you don't know that.
He's on the short Star Wars shuttle. Yeah, he's not on
that's
the
right.
long bus. Yeah, it's on the short
I mean,
bus. Yeah.
one of the things that, like, even when this lawsuit first broke, I mean, I reached out because I know in passing Paul Sung-Hung Lee, who plays Carcer Tevon. Like, he's the Asian guy.
Say that 5 times.
Yeah, I know it's a hard name to say, but he basically said that he got talks for Rangers of the New Republic, but he never got a contract, and nothing had ever come from that. And it's like, well, he told me that he was going to be on Ahsoka, or I think it was Ahsoka, or another one of the other ones that was going on. But he basically says, like, yeah, I know I'm going to be on Ahsoka. I know I'm going to be doing another Mandalorian season because I just signed my appearance for that, but nothing on. And this was mere months after the whole kerfuffle with Gina Carano and that anonymous person from Lucasfilm saying they're not going to work with her anymore. So yeah, it's like, again, there's conversations and then there's deals. And I'm hoping that maybe conversations will start up for Gina again, because I know Jon Favreau loves her still. And he's been basically handcuffed from being able to voice his opinion publicly because, you know, the last time he did that, Marvel got rid of him on the producer side of things and director side of things. And he only got to stick around as Happy Hogan for a bit there, and then had to work his way back up to getting some more credit on the Disney side of things. So, yeah, I can empathize with that. But yeah, if Kathleen Kennedy manages to retire from Disney Lucasfilm, which I don't see happening anytime soon personally, that's only one peg out of the board. The rest is like Pablo Hidalgo, and then of course the story group that she built, which is still there, and a couple of other people that she's brought into the company fray. Carrie Beck, who I've been talking about for 4 years now as a possible person to have some more significant role in Star Wars. Yeah, they're not. Her legacy will remain for quite a while after she's gone.
It's just a
Yeah, and
shame
again,
how,
I didn't ask. Oh, sorry, Mark. I was just gonna say I didn't ask you to accept it. I just said take it as a
Yeah.
theoretical possibility. Anyway, you were saying, Mark.
No, I mean it's just a shame how this is going. If you talk to 10-year-old me in 1977, and you tell me that what the state of Star Wars is today, and they're going to build a whole area in Star Wars, and you're going to hate it when you're going to go there. It's going to suck, and there's no original trilogy stuff, and it's just unbelievable how these big companies are screwing up such classic IP that has all the stories are there to tell. You don't even have to, and they rework things and screw them up. And Gina was so popular with the fans, so it's throwing away money. It's just stupidity. So, and it's in this country we value the First Amendment and it's freedom of speech, but she didn't have the right think. So it's Orwellian what happened, or it's only Elon Musk and Twitter. I mean, could you imagine what free speech would be like if you didn't have Elon Musk with Twitter? I mean, every time I post something on Facebook, or we talk on YouTube, I'm always second guessing myself in terms of what I say, or you're always thinking about what's happening out there, what someone's listening. But on Twitter, at least you have freedom to say what you want to say. I mean, look at Europe now. There's no freedom of speech in Europe. Look at that new Online Privacy Act that they put in place in Britain, which is blatant censorship. So thank God we have the First Amendment here, because we know a lot of people, view that as an impediment. And I think this is a victory for the First Amendment, not directly. I mean, it's almost like, one of these soccer matches when you win in a shootout, which sucks, or you end the game in a tie. But, I think Gina didn't want to go through the aggravation of a lawsuit. And there's got to be something in there that's sweetened the pot for her, and maybe down the road she'll be back working, with mainstream Hollywood. And I hope so. I hope she gets that chance, because what happened to her was, when you think of America, Hollywood always talks about horrible, the blacklist were, the communist purge in the 50s and 60s, and look at what's happened now. It's a conservative purge, and it's all these people have been blacklisted. But if you say the right thing, oh no, then you're okay, you can work. So they're a bunch of goddamn hypocrites in Hollywood. So I hope they get the message.
In some degree, I mean, I have watched a number of movies made by hardcore conservatives, and I have to say, objectively, they're not very good. I mean, there's
okay,
that but I mean, that doesn't. I would say that has more to do with the fact that modern day quote unquote liberalism, modern day quote unquote conservatism is so. It's not as deep as it was 40 years ago, where you could have people working in science fiction and fantasy and legal dramas and stuff from both political parties, and they're actually benefiting each other because they're making really great stuff, because it's not the politics that drives them, it's the art form. And I would say in the current day, it's a bit more politics that drives them. And that's why even on, the crazy quote unquote liberal side or the crazy quote unquote conservative side, the art isn't there. It's just agenda, masquerading as art.
That's where I'm simplifying this, because she's a female action star who is believable on screen when she's beating up the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like she actually is the perfect centrist solution.
Right.
You get that female representation, but it makes sense. It's not political.
Well, here's the other problem.
And she's very sellable, right?
Go ahead, Nick,
she's good on screen in interviews as a person, and it's just everything just lines up for that.
You do gotta make
Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of thing.
No, that's valid, CC. Yeah, you do gotta have stuff that could market to as many people as possible within that ocean of the market you're trying to appeal to. And luckily, in Gina's case, yeah, she's had moments in her career where she's more outspoken. There are moments, then she has moments where she's quieter. But the thing is, I do believe someone like her would still want to entertain first, whatever she's involved in. And yeah, there has definitely been some stuff, let's just say, that's a bit more right leaning, like what the Daily Wire put on, which was very on the nose. And it was just what the right does, but unlike the left, as on the nose. We definitely need to have more in the middle things. So hopefully, I don't know, where she works with someone like Sylvester Stallone or Kurt Russell, guys who are not as far left. I wouldn't even call them left, but they understand the art form first. Is what.
Oh yeah, well, Kurt Russell is definitely a right winger crazy nut.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
He'll never dismiss anyone on the opposite side, and he loves talking to everybody. Like that's why him and John Carpenter are polar opposites politically, are best friends.
Oh yeah,
and
he's also married to Goldie Hawn for 40+ years, and I think she's the opposite.
Well, they actually
of him
never got
too.
married, but yeah.
Yeah, but you get the point.
But yeah, she's, as far as I know, I think she's a lefty, and he's talked about that too. But the thing is he generally doesn't talk about his specific beliefs in politics, right? He will admit that he's a conservative.
Yeah.
But I very rarely actually heard his thoughts on things.
No,
right?
you only hear his thoughts through
he says them when he's
talking about them at like fun dinner parties.
And that's where like Mel Gibson is a little different, right? It's like Mel Gibson would do himself a favor to shut the fuck up. Because you know what? You're not helping your fucking point sometimes when you go out there and double down on the crazy. It's like, I get it. You believe this shit, and you're probably right.
And he's fantastic.
I don't know.
Talented.
but like at the same time, you make yourself look like a bit kooky when you go out there and you talk about these right-wing conspiracy theories like Alex Jones. Like, look, it's one thing to be Alex Jones and that's your shtick, right? You're Mel Gibson. You direct movies and you star in films. Don't be out there talking about your politics. I'm going to give him the same thing I'm going to give anybody else on the left that's doing the same damn thing. Yeah. Keep your politics out of your fucking movies, right? I can give that to at least Rob Reiner. I have yet to see one of his movies where his politics overtakes his fucking films. And that's why I'm looking forward to Spinal Tap 2. Because after seeing the trailers and clips I have, guess what I don't see? Any of his fucking politics.
Yep.
Yeah. Rob Reiner.
He could do himself a favor and he could do himself a favor though and sit down and shut the fuck up when it comes to his politics though, because it might help him. Because that's what most people are saying.
Even Rob Reiner's documentary on Albert Brooks, there's no politics in that at all. They're just talking about comedy and all the stories and crazy ideas they came up with. Like it's a great separation, but you're right, Tom. It's like when you get out on the press junket, you don't need to talk about politics. You need to talk about the thing you're selling.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's
what happened. We'll just say like John Cusack. Look, I love, a bunch of his movies. Look where John Cusack has gone, right? I mean,
he blocked me on fucking Twitter that one night when I called him Lloyd Dobler. He got so mad.
Badge of honor.
Because I don't remember what he said, but it was like, oh, please forgive me if I'm not going to take political advice from Lloyd Dobler. And he fucking blocked me.
See, I wish I had said that. Seriously, that's amazing.
That was
I love it. And I think I even doubled down on it because I posted the scene where he's like, I don't want to manufacture anything. I don't want to sell anything that's manufactured. I don't want to manufacture anything that's sold. I don't, like the whole little shtick he does and fucking, it's like this guy. Yeah, this guy's giving us political advice. What the fuck?
Amazing.
Go cry in fucking High Fidelity again. Jesus, just leave us alone. Make some movies. I don't care about your politics. Just make some fucking movies. Like I loved John Cusack back in the day.
Take your political frustrations and make it pour out vicariously in what you're trying to make. It doesn't have to be direct, but vicariously it can absolutely be done. I mean, it's the same way someone makes a song. They obviously are feeling something and they have a subtle way of expressing themselves in those songs because of life experience, whatnot. So yeah, it can absolutely be done. And yeah, you gotta learn to work with people who are not like you when it comes to those things. And because otherwise, if you just surround yourself with people who are not like you, whether it's religiously or politically, the minute you come across someone who's not, let's just say not like you, you're gonna freak out that much harder because all you've done is subject yourself to your own bubble. And I've seen what it's like. I've actually dealt with people who are like that. The minute they hear something that is not to the left of, let's just say, Bernie Sanders, you should see their eyes. They don't know how to react because they've gotten so used to just having themselves be sworn by people who are only like them that it freaks them out. It straight freaks them out. Like you're like this foreign language to them. So yeah, it's good if you want to actually surround yourself by diversity. Don't just be around people who don't look like you, but people who don't think like you as well.
The point
then you'll actually learn something out of life.
The point I was getting back around to is even if Disney were to consider to hire her again or anything like that, let's just again play devil's advocate here because we don't know enough now to really go on. Will they simply, because they have enough to stand on even though they have admitted some kind of fault through paying her and all that kind of business and bringing her back, are the fans that are left for Star Wars going to freak out and are they going to listen to them? Right? Because that's the thing is all that's left are these shit fans that think she's a horrible person. And is that going to fucking, matter or not? Because at the end of the day, unless they actually come out and say something or do something in some way, that's where I feel like there's no apology here. And yes, it's a win to a point, but it's not a win in a way that I feel like it's been publicly, like, look at the Johnny Depp Amber Heard again situation as an example, right? Like, after that, how many people besides the clearly delusional that we can all point at and collectively laugh at and go, God, they're so delusional. Still think that Johnny Depp in any way, shape, or form did half the shit, or even 2/3 of the shit that Amber Heard claimed he did.
You want the honest answer? I still work with people who still think Amber Heard's innocent. I'm not joking. I'm not saying.
Where do you work?
I've told you, I work right next
fucking
to Chicago.
Starbucks.
I work next to Chicago, 5 minutes outside Chicago.
Well, no, I meant
that's what I think when I say I've encountered. I work with people who I work in an echo chamber. That's the opposite of me. And the minute you say anything that is not to their leanings, they look like they're gonna like seriously like lose their shit. And there's a lot of them that still believe the Amber Heard thing. A lot of them have no idea that this was the actual case, and they'll pass it off as if it's a fact. I'm serious on this. I'm not joking. Yes.
Well, maybe you guys are right. I thought publicly she had pretty much fucked herself. So like,
well, to people who pay attention, yes, and to probably the industry, yes, but to people who live in a bubble, no.
And I agree, your coworkers are morons.
I work with a lot of morons. I'd say about 90%.
Do they have purple hair?
Yep.
Some of them actually do. Some of them actually.
There you go. That explains it.
I work in academia, so I'm not even going to try.
Oh, Lord. I don't even want to hear it.
So, Tom, you're very correct in regards to if they bring Gina Carano back, the fan base of current Disney is probably not going to like it, because that just goes back into one of the other points of contention, which it didn't matter if Disney launched a hate campaign to Gina or not. There was already people that didn't like her that were claiming to be Star Wars fans, and Disney could just easily justify that hate is damaging their brand. And they didn't want to have that associated with her, because that's another part of the argument. It doesn't matter if there are bots. If they could prove that Disney was behind it, that'd be more serious, obviously. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to online interaction and traffic. And if they said, well, we were concerned that we were getting a lot of hate and demand and upset fans of our current Star Wars, which, I mean, if you take a look at the metric from that versus prior to Disney's accusation, it's a very small amount number. But again, Disney needs all the fans that they can get at this point, and they didn't want to risk losing that. Then that's why they could always justify that being a decision. They could say, we have no opinion onto what Gina Carano said, but we do have to respect the fans that do like us, even if they don't like her, because we want to keep their dollars. And I mean, for all of us out here objectively, we're like, no, they don't spend money on you, Disney. You should not be listening to those people that are accusing or making horrible insults to Gina Carano or people like her, because they don't buy your products. They just tout stuff online and make you think that they actually give you money, but they actually don't. Because if they did, you'd probably have more money with your programming, with your movies than you currently do.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, but let's see what you guys are saying out there in the chat. We got JPS47 sending in 5. Thank you for that. It says, congratulations to Gina. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. I'm just trying to be a realist. And again, if I would love to eat crow on this situation.
But that's good that you are, Tom. We got to actually have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, and then he says, I hope we see more of her, and maybe they can redo season 3 of Mando. Well, I don't think they'll redo season 3 of Mando.
They're not going to.
I mean, the simplest answers they can't seem to do. Yeah.
It would be nice, but I doubt it.
You know, they'll remake anything these days. Maybe there'll be a remake of Mando in another 2 years when they run out of ideas.
Silence.
Indeed, yeah.
Silence.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that was my fault. Mark's 47 says, I think you got it, Tom. She wants to work, could either nail them in court or take a load of money and still be able to make it in Mando movie. Possibly. We don't know for sure. There's enough time, baby. Maybe still to do that. Blah. But we'll have to see. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I ate crow. But at the end of the day, I'm still kind of looking at this going, really, is it, is she going to work? Because who's going to hire her still they still have to want to hire her, right? And I agree with Script and some of the other guys is like, I don't know if her opportunities are going to be much better than they already were. Sure, the world is changing a little bit, so that might help. But that means it would have happened anyway, whether she sued Disney or not.
I mean, she's gonna be in a movie with Pedro Pascal. Could you imagine the irony?
Yeah, that would be then I would be saying, no, I'm wrong. She's clearly getting more mainstream work, right? Like that's a different scenario then. Like, I mean, we're talking totally different. Like, if she is in Deadpool 4, then fuck yeah, I'm totally fucking wrong.
Right?
Totally wrong. And good for her. Shit like that happens. She starts, she gets a Universal Pictures action film next year, and great.
She's the one fighting the Predator this time around. I'd dig that.
There you go. See, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to take it away from Disney because I don't know if necessarily Disney will work with her again, but like, I mean, maybe Paramount or somebody like that would see the opportunity. Maybe Taylor Sheridan would see something in her and go, hey, wait a minute. I could put her in a show. You don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just speculating, obviously, but if I'm wrong, I'll be glad to be wrong.
Tom, I gotta jump in here because I gotta head out. I gotta split out, but I just want to say thanks for having me on and check this out. This is a really cool thing. So
that's a nice figure in your hand.
Yes.
Thing both operatively and figuratively there.
Yeah. So this is on McFarlane. It's on Amazon's and everywhere now. So
that cover looks Hickman inspired. It looks very Hickman.
Yeah, that's the FF 642. Yep.
Yeah, I knew.
Where do you have room for this shit?
I don't actually. My wife is gonna kick my ass. I gotta get a storage unit.
I'm sitting here. My house is overflowing. I'm going. Maybe I should start a toy store.
Yeah, this is
me and Mark could start like the ultimate toy store.
Well, you got competition in Sheboygan, Tom. There's a store called Freak Toys in Sheboygan. I went with Gary Nerdrotic too, and it's glorious. You and Mark would freak.
We'll call it Turtles and Things, Tom. How about Turtles and
Turtles
Things?
and Things. Oh, I'm sure we can come up with a better title than that, but yeah. But anyhow,
all right, everyone.
Thanks for being here.
Take care of yourself. Get you soon. Thanks, everyone. Later.
Bye.
Yes, indeed.
Take care.
And then let's get back into super chats here. I gotta make sure we read the last one. I was 100% sure on that. But while we're looking for that last one here, we got JJ Gosling who says the disappointment people are feeling is what happens when you invest so much into someone's life.
I agree.
Maybe I'm more just in. Look, I wanted to see Disney made a fool of. I wanted to see, because we weren't going to get cameras in the courtroom like we did with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, but we would have had at least a couple of YouTubers hanging out in the courtroom feeding us the info we needed. Yeah, that definitely would have been fun, and I think it would have made our Christmas. But hey, it is what it is. And then Warwolf 1, that's the one we missed. Sorry about that, buddy. Sent in $2 to say, hey guys, been a while, finished my novel. Well, congratulations on that.
Way to go.
Congrats.
Very hard to finish. And that's what she said. But yes, congratulations, buddy. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Then we got Gonzalo Bergali in the house who sends in 75 Uruguayan pesos, I believe that is. Says, let's be real, the Mandalorian movie is going to be crap even with her. Yeah, that's the other problem.
Yeah, even if she were in it.
The only thing that movie has going for it is that Jon Favreau. And that's still not a guarantee. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because he's got Dave Filoni over his shoulder now.
Yeah, and that and just in general, like, look, I love Jon Favreau as much as the last guy, but for every great movie he has a Cowboys and an Aliens, or a Zathura, or whatever the fuck that.
Zathura was okay, but it didn't quite do what Jumanji did. So that
was my point. Yeah, it was supposed to be a sequel to Jumanji, and it was so bad that they disowned it. Like. They're like, that has nothing to do with us. Don't even try to pin that shit on us. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't that bad. But no, it just he's not perfect, right? He's made some stinkers, but I have enough faith in him that movie might be watchable. You know what I mean? Like, that's about it. And then on that note, Skeptic Tank says, does this mean Favreau will return for whatever rock he may not be hiding under? A little disappointed in order being maintained. Honestly, I don't know if his plan wasn't to always exit after some sort of third season / finale to Mando anyway, right? Like, we have been positing that he could take over Star Wars, but At no point has he ever said that he wanted to take over Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, and I think honestly, I think he's done. I think he's been screwed over so many times.
He only spends so long on things and then he moves on.
Yeah.
He's an artist. He doesn't want to be stuck or anchored onto one thing for too long. He likes to move around as artists do, because he started out as a writer and actor and then got into directing, and he already has his own production company, Fairview, which does some pretty cool stuff here and there. But I mean, to take on the responsibility of like administration at Disney, I mean, no, he's too much like James Gunn, where he's like, yeah, maybe I'll be a co-founder, but I'm going to stick totally to the creative side. And I need someone to take care of operations, because that doesn't reward him in the same way as actually making something. So he was never going to be in a high position of control out over at Disney for Star Wars. It just wouldn't have interested him. Thank you for that.
Yes, for your little speech. We appreciate it. Jason Webster is in the house still and says Mandalorian has gone so downhill, you could say Gina dodged a bullet. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Oh,
too.
absolutely.
I
mean,
we've already were aiming that week.
Look at Daredevil Born Again. Proof of what happens when you have likable actors or talented or people who are, let's just say, fit for their job, and you still have bad writing that really bogs it down. So, yeah, Gina,
you know what's sad about Daredevil is they actually reshot most of that and tried to make it better.
I know. So it's like,
what's even worse? They had
actually
Daredevil on Disney Plus had better numbers than Daredevil on Netflix. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, that's true. But you're actually right on that.
It is, and that's crazy, because you're like, oh, it has better numbers, but then you're like, well, wait a minute. When you rate against the other Marvel shows, when you rate against the other Disney Plus shows that were either originals or a bigger IP, it's like so down the bottom rung of the list. But Netflix, I mean, I know a couple of people at Netflix that were there when Daredevil was pitched, and they said, man, if we had those numbers at Netflix, we'd be fighting Disney to do another season right after season 3, because we would kill for those numbers for Daredevil. And instead,
well, yeah, but also you got to take into consideration when Daredevil dropped on Netflix initially. It was first early in the Marvel universe.
Yep.
It was also early in Netflix's days. So, like, yeah, I bet you $5 they just kept Daredevil on Netflix and kept it going, and they just had a few seasons, and we're on the new season now instead of it canceling and having this moratorium and all this other bullshit. They probably would have built an audience that would have been like 10,000 strong or 10 million strong. I mean, sorry, at this
probably
point.
Pretty close to it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, could have been.
But they killed it in the height of the Marvel universe. They should have had the show ready as soon as he was in Spider-Man No Way Home, and they didn't. And then they fucking kept fumbling the ball just like they do with Blade. And then I'm really worried about Punisher here, but maybe it might be okay. So we'll see. But on that note, let's keep rolling with the super chats. We got Dark King in the house. It says, are there any actors, directors who are politically poisoned these days? Seems like they've all pissed in the cultural cornflakes with their comments. I'm sure there's quite a few that haven't.
Has Bob Odenkirk really gotten that deep into it with his nobody stuff?
Very, very rarely. And that's like very sporadic. Like, you'd have to do some digging. Like, I remember when he has, but it's nothing like, well, once I'm bringing him up again,
nothing
Mark
like
Ruffalo, Rob Reiner. You probably actually have to dig for Bob Odenkirk. But because
he's a comedian first, he'll tell a joke, and it's a joke before you figure out if it's political or not.
Yeah,
that's just it. Most of them are obnoxious as hell, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I even brought up Mel Gibson on the other end of this too, because it's not the left alone. There is some on the right. Now it is abundantly on the right. The left. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's abundantly on the left, or whatever they're calling left these days. Yeah.
yeah. But at the same time, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying that it does exist on both sides, but you have the worst of it now because you got people like De Niro and all these others that have just completely lost their fucking minds.
Of course, John Voight also had lost his minds for decades too. So,
well, and people forget when Clint Eastwood was talking to a fucking chair.
Oh, I remember that vividly. I thought that was terrible.
Yeah,
I get what he was doing, but it was like, oh, no, Clint.
That's the first time Dirty Harry missed.
That was almost not quite as cringe, but as when Kanye West was like, George Bush does not care about black people. Fucking Mike Myers is like, Shit. That was probably one of the most. I loved that one. I still.
That's an incredible moment.
It's the only time maybe I felt sorry for Mike Myers.
Yeah.
And I'm counting Cat in the Hat. I blame him wholeheartedly for that shit. It's like you get no sympathy from me.
Yeah, and now we got Bill Hader's doing Cat in the Hat now. As a
oh my god! And how can they make it worse? Did you see the fucking trailer?
Yeah,
it's atrocious.
And I'm like going, how do you make this even worse than they did? Like Mike Myers took it so far to the point where it's like, okay, you have really, like, I swear, like I have seen some bad fucking movies in my time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have sat through the Cat in the Hat, you how can you not ask yourself the entire time going, who okayed this? Like, in what world did anybody say, yeah, totally, Dr. Seuss would have done that?
Yeah.
No, they literally just turned the camera on and let Mike Myers fucking masturbate for an hour and a half. That's literally what happened. Okay, I shouldn't have said literally, but it's pretty much what
that
happened.
wasn't literal.
Figuratively, what happened? Because if he literally did that, people would be talking more about
He was
the movie.
figuratively masturbating himself. I mean, it was self-masturbatory through the whole thing. It was just Mike Myers just constantly mugging, constantly. It's just like, and it wasn't even funny. Like, it was almost just like, is this like the world's worst SNL skit that's gone on way too fucking long or something? Because that's what it felt like. And I'm just sitting here going, why is this even a thing?
Well, Mike Myers is actually the least funniest person in his family. So
that I can believe. I mean, I love Mike Myers, don't get me wrong, but I've also heard horror stories about it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's incredibly self-conscious, and that's where the horror stories come from. He does not, because again, he was told his entire life he's not funny. He then gets on SNL where he's being told by professionals he is funny. But then if you know his family members, if you know the neighborhood that he grew up with, which, you know, I've crossed through a few times, yeah, they are way funnier. Like, they should be on television and films because they are way funnier than Mike Myers. But Mike Myers is funny enough, you know, and that's the problem of his insecurity, because he always thinks that he's not funny enough. So every time they'll finish a take, he'll look to everybody. He's like, was that funny? Did you guys laugh? Do you think the audience will laugh? And then that's where everything snowballs into him being a diva and people kind of getting stressed out because he's really self-conscious about that.
And that, my friends, is why Mike Myers doesn't make movies anymore.
Still say it's a shame he doesn't, because I mean, they weren't all bad.
You're just saying that because you're fucking Canadian. Jesus
no, I mean,
Christ.
As a Canadian, I'd say he's mediocre funny.
I'm just picking on CC. I've been picking on him.
I'd rather a world where he kept making movies, even if some of them were really, really awful.
No, honestly, I've said there's a missed opportunity where we should have gotten at least one more Austin Powers and a Wayne's World 3 by now. Like, I'm like going, what the fuck? Especially in the YouTube age. Like, how did they not, you know, like the whole movie should be about the
God evil using social media to discredit everybody.
Well, that one's that one, but like Wayne's World 3, it's real simple. The public access channel just gets shut down, and what do? They jump on YouTube and they become a fucking worldwide sensation.
Shout out to the Trailer Park Boys. Their YouTube channel has 250,000 subscribers. They're self-funding their work.
See?
Right? I mean, they bought their brand, they bought their characters. They're, you know, relatively independent with it. You can do that in this day and age.
And can you imagine if Garth gets obsessed with becoming an influencer?
That would be pretty funny. Or maybe Kim Basinger starts stalking him because now she can find him online. But I will say this, the inadvertently funniest thing Mike Myers ever did was in The Love Guru, where he had the Toronto Maple Leafs win a Stanley Cup.
And that is a badass movie. And I don't mean that in a good badass way. I mean that like like I've heard now somebody was saying like he was in a contract for Cat in the Hat and could get out of it. Maybe so, but he can't blame anybody but himself for The Love Guru.
Yeah, it is both bad and ass. You are correct.
Not only that, it's racist as fuck. And that's coming from somebody who's really probably racist. So yeah. Like, I just, no. I even cringed at The Love Guru going, how did he get away with this?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he did get away with it because that's kind of like the last movie, right?
You're not wrong. That's true, CC. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like, because Demi Moore produced some of his films, and she was she's a very influential producer. Well, was a very influential producer at that period.
Now the self-masturbatory thing 10 times worse in Love Guru.
Yeah,
like that isn't even a movie.
No, it's not. And he's wearing a chastity belt for that entire production too.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I can believe it. All right, let's keep moving. Thank you, Dark King, for that. The avenue we went down with that one. Jason Webster says Amber Heard has been both borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder. Yes, among other things, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a laundry list. She probably makes Batman's rogues gallery go, God damn, woman. Like even Harley's like, this bitch is crazy. Like,
that's funny.
I'll do a lot of crazy shit, but I wouldn't shit in fucking Mr. J's bed. Like,
I mean, there's a joke of that in the new King of the Hill.
No,
is there really?
What?
I've only gotten like 3 episodes in.
It's
So far.
not in the bed, but it is something very similar to that. But the character is not Amber Heard level though.
Yeah. Just 3 episodes in, you've got the best of the season ahead of you, buddy.
It was, I was gonna say it was kind of
really
slow
good.
moving, getting in the first. Well, of course, it doesn't help that 90% of the trailers we've got have clearly been from like the first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm okay. I've seen all this. It's like, so now I'm getting into the 3rd episode where it was a little bit newer, and once I get back into it, I'm kind of savoring it. Right. I also got to go back, and there's a ton of the original show I never watched. Because I saw like maybe the first 3 seasons, maybe consistent. And then after that, because they kept having, they kept putting in a moratorium for baseball and all kinds of the same shit that kept happening to The Simpsons.
Yep. And
Futurama and stuff like that, to where I never knew it was fucking on. And it just kind of got crammed in between like Family Guy and shit like that all the time and stuff like that. It just
I'm in a similar boat with that, and also Seinfeld of all shows, because I never bought the DVDs or whatever and watched it.
Same
in
here,
streaming
actually.
format. I just every time I ever saw it on broadcast television, I watched it religiously, right? Which is good, but there was a few episodes that always got skipped, right?
Yeah.
So there's got to be a few that I've missed, even though I've seen a lot of them.
See, I'm going through the same thing, and it's funny because what spurned this whole thing on, because like I was flipping through the Tubi, not Tubi, but the whatever you call it, at stations on Amazon and all those, wherever it was, on one of those things. Maybe it was Tubi. I don't remember. One of them.
Yeah.
And they fucking had Seinfeld on. So I'm watching Seinfeld. And what they did was they showed the first part to a 2-part episode. And instead of showing the second part afterwards, they showed a completely random other episode. So I had this I'm like, fuck, I need to see what. And I've seen the show like you throughout the years, just never actually watched it. And lo and behold, at the exact same time I just started watching it on Netflix from episode 1 on, the 4K Blu-rays come out. So I went and spurred on that. Like, I'm about 3rd, 4th season in now on Seinfeld, but yeah. And then nice. I've been rewatching Cheers as well, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Cheers is great, man. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good show. Yeah.
Just don't.
I need to get the Blu-rays of that.
Hank Hill every time he says propane. Bad time.
Propane.
I did catch every episode of Frasier because I watched it as it aired, front to back.
See, now that was a show I never really got into, but I should eventually.
It's pretty good. I mean, the new series got about halfway there. Mixing and cast and didn't really have as much drive as needed to, but it was still Jim Burrows working on it, so you had a little bit of that old stuff. But yeah, it's a shame that they didn't focus more on making the younger cast like good, because that was the weakest point of it. The guy they got playing the son, not very good. The next door neighbor thing with maybe there's a relationship there or not, did not translate at all. They were trying to recreate the Niles and Daphne thing, and they just screwed it up really bad right off the bat.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah. And then Redisaurus says, why would she go back to Star Wars when it's a dead brand? Exactly. Yeah, she's getting broken goods at this point. It's like, yeah, this is like when a bigger kid takes your toy and then breaks it, and then another parent makes him give it back. It's like, well, what good is it now? It's broken. Like, I want him to buy me a new one. Fuck that. Like, look at Nick. He's all shaved. Look at him.
So weird.
Are you eating yogurt? What are you eating? Oh,
cream cheese.
Ice cream. Horchata ice cream.
Oh. Motherfucker eats like a 12-year-old. Of course it wouldn't be yogurt.
Not even
Jason
frozen
Webster,
yogurt.
Yeah, not even frozen yogurt. Jason Webster says Amber Heard has both. Oh, we got this one already, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, unless you sent it twice accidentally, Jason, or maybe I just forgot to bump it off here. Maybe that's what it was. Then JJ Gosling sends in another £2. Thanks. You guys have been very generous tonight. Thank you for that. Yep. A lot of fans forgot that it wasn't their lawsuit. That's true. Again, I'm not mad or upset. I'm just disappointed. I mean, more disappointed that these guys got to take a pay cut.
I think a lot of people got so hopeful and wishful thinking because of how much we've been burned by Disney that it just escalated everyone's resentment towards them. That this needs to be like the smoking gun. I do believe there's a little bit of hype people built amongst themselves, and I get it because the company's corrupt, and we wanted to see that, and we had all the right reasons justified. But once again, that process is grueling, man. I
think there was a little more to it than that, Nick. I think you're
right,
but I think
there probably is.
I think also in that, and the reason is because Elon was backing her up. I think most people were under the impression she wasn't going to back down. Mm-hmm. See, that's where I think people got false hope out of this.
Maybe he had a price limit too.
Well, I don't think. Well, he has no influence over that one way or another. I genuinely think Gina got a generous offer. We don't know what was all involved in that offer. We probably never will, outside of the things we do publicly see. That is, if she gets reinstated in Star Wars and whatnot, gets a show, all that business, whatever. Which that I doubt was part of the I highly doubt that Disney's going to give her something they didn't give her in the first place and take away from her, because that's where script is right. There was no contract signed for a show. She was promised a show. Favreau had planned a show for her.
Yep.
But we're at this point now where it looks like we were saying before, where Favreau has kind of moved on. Like, I think that this Mando thing is his last hoorah, and he's going to go do some other shit. I could be totally fucking wrong, but I'm getting the same kind of vibe we did when he kind of exited Marvel. I mean, he even fucking killed his character on screen.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is like your way of saying, I am fucking piecing out. Because they didn't kill Happy. Happy's still a big part of the MCU. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
So he was happy enough to stick around as Happy, but it doesn't sound like he was going to be happy enough to stick around as a Mando. So, or he was just making sure that all the Mandos were gone, so there really couldn't be a show when he's all said and done.
But there's still a huge tribe that's now being led by Katie Sackhoff's character.
There you go. See, I didn't watch all the
true Mandalorian.
Season, so. Ugh. Anyway, thank you for being a member for 38 months. Mr. Buttcrack Media hasn't changed his icon in years and should never change his icon. One of the greatest. Never. It's a classic. And 6 sending us in some love, sending in a super sticker, probably a pooper sticker. Let's see. No, it was a little puppy. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. For all those dogs that got shot on South Park last night. Holy shit, including Crypto.
Oh, God, yeah.
See that? Oh, my God. Oh, that was something. Jason Webster says, I worked as a contributing author and sub-editor on Book Project, one of the best projects I have ever undertaken. So enjoyable and rewarding. Well, there you go. That sounds like a good thing. I liked punching up and rewriting a little bit, so it's kind of in the same domain-ish. Yeah. JPS 47 says, Elon Musk is a Mike Myers character brought to real life. He is kind of. You're not totally
wrong. Peter from Sprockets a little.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I'm as happy as a little girl.
Now, I'm going to repopulate the earth.
So Mike Myers did write a Sprockets movie, and I have read the script, and
yes,
parts of it is really funny, like really funny. And
well, famously, that's the reason we didn't get a Wayne's World 3 or an Austin Powers 4, right?
Probably.
The Sprockets movie, something to do with that.
Maybe I can't remember, but I do know.
For some reason, Noah had some tie with that. Like there was a reason, like because Austin Powers 4 was set and ready to go, and then the Sprockets movie, because of that, something happened behind the scenes. I don't remember the exact connection.
Well, I do know that he had an idea for Austin Powers 4, but he hadn't written one yet, and he had wrote Sprockets, and he wrote Sprockets actually before Austin Powers, and he'd been trying to get that movie made since Austin Powers.
Right. For some reason, there was like something to do with the deal. Maybe it was New Line also had a deal with Sprockets. I don't know. But anyhow, I'll have to look that up. We got something else I wanted to talk about before we get out of here, though. Unless somebody else in the chat wants to check into that while we're looking into this.
Thank you.
We've got news on Highlander, and it's kind of strange that I kind of called this because Bautista was actually attached to this years ago. And we all kind of figured, we kind of figured he still was, but it turns out he wasn't, but now he is. So you do the math on that. And I mean, I'm kind of disappointed in this. I've been really disappointed in the casting for Highlander outside of Henry Cavill, but I want to get your all's feeling on this. So it looks like Dave Bautista will play the villain in the new Highlander movie. Now, we don't know if he's going to play the Kurgan necessarily. He was originally going to play the Kurgan in the older versions of this before it got to Straczynski. But Script, let's start with you. What's your reaction to Bautista as a villain? Do you think he can pull it off? Do you think it'll be interesting? What do you think?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, Bautista, he has shown some versatility in acting. It's been a while since we've seen him play like a villain character. I really do hope that this Highlander it's just Highlander in name only. It's still about immortals. It's not the McLeods or anything of that. It's just another guy from Scotland who happens to be immortal. Because I kind of don't want it to be a proper remake of the 80s classic. Because personally, I like that one. But I like the also idea of expanding this universe of immortals, like traveling the globe, searching out for the prize, and being picked off one by one by that one guy that just has no mercy and no soul. So, I mean, seeing him as a villain, that's pretty cool. He's somewhat comparable in size to Henry Cavill, so I don't know how intimidating he's going to be unless they do some pretty interesting special effects. Because again, like Clancy Brown was like a foot taller than Christopher Lambert, so you really did get a sense that he was up against a fierce foe. But Dave Bautista and Henry Cavill are both pretty big guys, so I don't know. It might ruin the drama a little bit. Because there's this one guy who was in season 3 of Reacher who was bigger than Alan Ritchson.
Yes,
that would be a good villain because he's huge. He's like 9 feet tall. And that guy actually knows how to act too. So yeah, Bautista is a good name. Right now people like him, so he'll bring something interesting to the role, I'm sure.
R2, what do you think?
Oh boy. I don't want this movie at all.
Really?
Okay. No, I don't. The original Highlander is lightning in a bottle. Clancy Brown's performance as the Kurgan in that film is incredible. I don't know how they would possibly find anyone who could do that again or come even close. That performance is just wild. How he just comes across as this just demonic presence in everything that he does in that film. The rest of the movie works really well. It's a real sort of I don't know. It's this almost like Grindhouse level, like really just like we shot this on the fly and we did all this crazy stuff and we went and shot things without permits and we made this all work and pulled together this crazy film. It's a fun movie. I'm not going to say it's a great film. This is not The Godfather, but it's a really enjoyable film for what it was and how it was made. And it kind of came together and worked. And I don't want to see a remake of that. If they're going to make something completely new and different that just happens to be dealing with the, immortals and everything, and it kind of fits into that universe. All right. But I do not want a remake of that original film at all. It was lightning in a bottle. It was incredibly fun. The performances in it were great. I loved Clancy Brown in that film. I just don't know how Dave Bautista or anyone, I don't know how they're going to beat that performance of Clancy Brown as the Kurgan. I just don't see how they're going to recreate that dynamic that they had.
Fair enough. CC?
I liken this a little bit to The Crow. And as badly as the remake of that turned out, I also think they just don't make movies like that anymore. And that's where my comparison's coming from, is they don't make movies the way they made the original Highlander, same way as they don't make movies the way they made the original Crow. if it's gonna be like just produced and filmed in the way that they are, like the modern McDonald's kind of blockbuster style, it's gonna be way too glossy. It won't work. Even if they do a good job with it, I have a hard time feeling like how it's gonna just hit the way it needs to hit. I don't know enough about how the production's going. I'll be honest, I haven't really looked into how this, other than I'm aware of this casting announcement, but I don't know enough about the movie to say that I know it's going to be made well or made poorly. But like, unless they don't make movies that have that actual grounded realism anymore. It's so I don't know how they could succeed, even if they succeed. That would be my position.
Yeek.
CC, it's kind of fitting that you mentioned The Crow, because I was actually just watching it earlier, and my love for that movie has not faded one bit. And to me, like, there's only one Eric Draven. There's only one Crow movies. I know some people have some fond feelings towards the sequels. At least I'll give those sequels for not being Eric Draven. But for me, there's only one Crow movie. There's only one Highlander. My interest in this is non-existent. Now, could a trailer maybe think I'll consider it? That trailer's got to have to, like, straight up wow me. Whereas something like Nobody 2, which I'll be seeing next week, I'm like, give me that. At least that's based off an original idea from a few years ago. But interest is non-existent. But I'm not going to say that I won't see it, because maybe I might change my mind when I see a trailer. But as of now, I don't give a shit the same way constipated people don't.
Wow. I guess I'm going to be one of the, I hate saying it in descending voice here because I'm being positive, but I understand y'all's apprehension, and I totally agree with you guys on how the sequels to the first film have done nothing but pretty much fuck it up, much like The Crow, although I will make slight argument for Highlander 3, although it is basically a remake of the first movie. But I think, what's his face? Jeez, I just forgot his name. Mario Van Peebles. I think he does a great job as a villain. Is he nearly as good as Clancy Brown? No, not by far. But that film is at least watchable compared to the other 2 or 3, depending on if you want to count the one, the TV movie or the animated film. But that being said, that's my other thing with this. This franchise has been pulled in so many different directions. It needed some sort of redemption, and the only thing that makes it different from makes Highlander different from The Crow in your guys' argument is this right here. See, this is why I think there's potential.
Yeah.
This is one reason why I think there's potential, because they had the formula figured out with the show for the most part.
Yeah, the Crow TV series did not last long.
Exactly. They did not have anything else in the Crow franchise that came anywhere close to matching that first film, unlike Highlander, which has a mythos. And I don't mean that to be punny because there's a character named that. I mean, it actually has a mythology. It has something to build upon. And Henry Cavill is one of those guys I'm looking at it going, wait a minute. You got him in the lead. I can see him having the intensity and doing what Connor brought to the table, along with what women loved about Duncan and his suave kind of mixing that together, and Cavill works, right? He is playing Connor, from my understanding. Now, we don't know if he's playing the Kurgan necessarily. We do know that Russell Crowe is playing Ramirez. I think that's a big mistake. They should have got Antonio Banderas. Huh?
It's a dreadful choice.
Yeah, I think Antonio Banderas made perfect sense. It's like, duh.
Antonio Banderas is a good one, but I would probably say that maybe Oded Feher would be good as well. He's from The Mummy. He was in Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. He's got that kind of like Egyptian look to him.
Maybe, but I was also looking at it a fact of he was Zorro, for fuck's sake. Kind of like how Sean Connery was Bond. Right, like it was that kind of a passing of a torch kind of thing. Even though it wasn't a direct passing of the torch, you know what I mean? It was kind of like a old school action guy introducing the new action guy, although Christopher's career didn't quite take off. You know, that's the other thing this movie has going for it is Henry Cavill arguably is in a better place as a movie star than Christopher Lambert was when he made Highlander. Because at the point when Christopher made Highlander, I think the only big movie he had been in was Tarzan. Right.
Yeah,
so like
he was cast in that movie because he didn't speak a lick of English, and then they found out for sure during Highlander. You muted yourself, Tom.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this since Michael Straczynski's involved. I think he'll be able to handle both the action and the visual kind of style that it needs. I think it's a franchise, and that's where he's planning it as a franchise, right? He's not. That was the big mistake the first film made, was putting itself in this corner of saying that Connor won the prize at the end of the first film. Hell, I've even been somebody who's going out there and saying, get rid of the prize. The prize shouldn't even be a thing. The prize is stupid. Just make it a light and a dark side, right? Like, it makes more sense because you have guys like the Kurgan and stuff like that are clearly these darker, power-hungry immortals who want to go after all and amass all the power and kill all the immortals, as opposed to the other guys who don't really want to kill anybody. They just have to, right? Well, that's where you set that up, is like, there's these other guys who don't want to kill everybody. They just want to, you know, live their lives and do what they do, but they're forced to kill and attack these other guys because they're coming to attack them one way or the other, right? Because, you know, I agree with you. The first film is in my top 10 favorite films of all time. Hands down.
Like, no, I think the prize is a good motivation because you have the good side trying to prevent the bad side from getting it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you need to make it more, or you need to make it something different than what the prize is, because that makes it's fine, but it's like you need to make it something that's.
Well, I mean, I think the whole idea that he could become telepathic, that was kind of a cop out for the prize, because I think gosh, I'm forgetting his name. I don't think he really understood or defined what the prize was supposed to be until he actually had to get to that point and be like, oh,
they defined it at the end of he can get older, he can have children, stuff like that. He basically gets a normal life.
I mean, the prize should be that he becomes mortal, but not that he has the ability to read other people's minds.
I don't know where the reading other people's mind comes in. I don't remember that.
He says that. He says, I can hear other people's thoughts. I can communicate. I can bridge people throughout the world.
Yes.
True, but I thought it was more as like what he was saying is that he has all the, because that was the thing, is he has now amassed all the vast knowledge of all time because he's, you know, collected all the immortals. Basically is his whole thing. So he has this vast map of history in his mind. And I thought that he meant that way he could communicate with people better. Maybe you're right. I guess I have to listen to it and recontextualize it and listen to it. Because then by the time you get to the third film, they don't even mention the prize once.
No, because they said like there's a brand new immortal that's been in a cave this entire time and gets free.
Not once though is the prize mentioned. That's my point. Like,
well, I mean the other part too,
the rules are there. But like,
the rules are there. Well, the other part too is that new immortals can appear. Like, that's the cool part, is that it almost seems like it's a never-ending battle anyways. Like, there's a prize, but it doesn't matter almost to a point because you'll discover a new immortal with every decade. I mean, Connor McLeod's only 400 years old. The Kurgan's like 1,000, and Ramirez is like over 1,000. Clearly more are popping up, and if that's going to be the case, there's no. Well,
that's kind of what they were trying to do with part 2 in a way, like both trying to facilitate Sean Connery coming back to make the investors happy and add in this idea that, you know, like you just said, if a new immortal shows up out of nowhere, then all of a sudden he goes young and he becomes an immortal again. Like that was kind of like their whole idea. And I believe the animated series was even built on a lot of that shit. But to me, I'm the type of person where, as much as I love Highlander 2 for all its batshit craziness, that is not the direction you take the fucking franchise. But you're not wrong. Like, it should be a never-ending battle. And that's why I said you should never make it like a prize as a thing they're going after. Because like you just said, new immortals are going to be born all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, or that we have a new, there's something has happened and now there's a new generation of immortals that are coming or something like that. I don't know.
Well, then when you get to Endgame, they really fuck with shit because they literally have immortals that are like keeping themselves in comas so that the prize can't be won.
Yeah.
Like, they get so convoluted with some of these things just so they could try and keep the franchise on going. That's where I'm saying they're wiping the slate clean. Now you can actually come up with some stuff that works, stick with the rules, make the rules make sense. Because to me, the simplicity of the first film, to build upon that, along with using some of the stuff from the series, because you had like the Watchers and other characters that feed into the Immortals world. And I feel like, because that was the other problem with the movies, is even though Highlander 3 was made at the same time the series was happening, it completely ignores the series on top of it all.
Yeah.
And then the fourth film is a combination of the series and the movies. So you got all kinds of craziness. Like, there's more fucking false starts in this fucking franchise than there was in Halloween, right? Like, as far as,
yeah.
And then you got The Source. Don't even get me started on that, because most people don't even know what the fuck that is.
That came after Highlander the Raven, right?
Yes. So what The Source was meant to be a new trilogy, kicking off a de facto backdoor kind of thing to a new possible show. But the pilot / first movie was received so fucking poorly that the producers even apologized for it. And these are the same fucking people that made Highlander 2.
Yeah.
Like, they're apologizing for this shit, going, okay, so you didn't really apologize. They never really apologized for Highlander 2. They just said, we can make it better, and it got taken away from us. And then when they just keep tinkering with it, it's like, no, you're just making it stupid. It's like, just keep it the way it was, so we have this really glorious bad movie to laugh at, and then the rest of the shit doesn't count anyway, because after that, every movie ignores it anyhow. So what's the difference? But that being said, like, I know, I'm kind of looking forward to this. Hopefully it's good. I'm kind of like, every time I hear this, the casting news, though, I'm just like, really? Ugh.
Straczynski must see something in there that we don't. That usually can be a good sign.
Maybe. And again, like I said, he may not even be playing the Kurgan for all we know. They may be building up to the Kurgan at some point. So, you know, we'll have to see what they come up with, because we have no idea what the storyline is going to be. I don't even know if it's going to be a straight up remake of the movie. Because I've been hearing like they are going to be integrating some things from the show. So I have a feeling that this Connor McLeod is going to be kind of a combination of Duncan and Connor, if that makes sense.
So Donner McLeod?
Yes. Even though he's going to take the Connor name, I have a feeling he's going to look and act a lot more like Duncan, is my point.
Yeah.
Duncan is the more stoic one, and that fits Henry's.
Henry's going to grow out a ponytail, you know?
Yeah, because if you're going to have an actual Connor McLeod would be like Chris Pine.
Yeah, or Aaron Eckhart these days, because he's
somebody like that. Yeah, exactly. He's got to have that little sparkle in his eye. He's a little mischievous. He's a little punk, and I don't mean punk like a little punk kid. I mean like punk rock. I mean, he's a little bit, or that, to where Duncan was always the more suave, you know, into the ladies and all that kind of stuff. Like, not that Connor never was, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
No,
more
Connor was simple. He's like, he tells a girl that he's 400 years old, and that immediately drops her panties, and he does her in whatever location they're in. It's just like,
no. I mean, Duncan, he romances the fuck out of her. Yes, exactly.
Doesn't even have to tell them his real age.
It does seem like they're going for more or less a remake, though. Pretty straight up remake. I mean, that right now, you know, not that IMDb is the perfect you know, thing, but we do have a McLeod, we have a Ramirez, and we have a Brenda.
So you're probably right. I mean, again, I mean, the first movie is pretty perfect as long as they stick to the basic story, and then from there you're building upon it into an actual sequel that isn't Highlander 2, The Quickening. Then
they're gonna. It's just, I don't know. I have this feeling they're going to try and turn this, instead of focusing on making one good movie, they're going to try and turn this into the beginning of a cinematic frickin' universe.
You could be right, but
yeah.
And it is meant to be that. And that's, but my thing is I have a feeling that's where they're going to kind of integrate more of the show, right? Like once we get past the first movie, I think, and I even think the movie's going to have a lot more feeling of, oh, this feels a little bit more like the TV show. And let me remind people, because here's the thing. The show was big here. It was successful, but it was huge, fucking huge overseas.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand how massive Highlander, unless you're in the crowd, then you're actually from another country and you probably know. But for our US listeners, Highlander was so big in other overseas that they actually made two different versions of the show. The US version and the UK version. And the UK version had even sexier scenes in it.
Oh yeah.
Like nudity and shit. Like, and they knew their audience. They knew who they were going after. This was the Twilight crowd before the Twilight crowd, right? So this, and putting Henry Cavill in this is like perfect. It's like, you guys know exactly what you're doing, evidently. I bet you a ton of women are going to go see this movie.
Yeah. I want them to tell a story that's got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and isn't just a tease for more films that are going to come after it. I don't
No,
know.
I get what you're saying. And I mean, the first story is self-contained enough, but it has, as long as you leave that open ending. See, that's the only thing, is they just can't paint themselves in this corner that the Kurgan and Connor are the last two and the prize has been won. Right? Like, that's the one thing you can't do, is you can't paint yourself into that corner. You can have it be this situation where Connor's living his life and then all of a sudden somebody like the Kurgan or the Kurgan shows up again being that big of a threat, right? Like, that's the thing. And you just know there's other big threats out there. You know, I think it'd be really cool at some point if Genghis Khan fucking shows up and we find out he's an immortal. That's why he's, you know what I mean? Like, there's some things they never really played with. They did do some things, but not, there's even things where I'm like, you could have gone even farther with some of this shit and had more fun.
Yeah.
And that's what
Genghis
I hope
Khan
Straczynski
fathered a
brings.
few too many kids to be an immortal.
Well, that would make more sense, right? Yeah. If he wasn't, you know, making babies. But that's what I loved about the Kurgan to begin with, is this motherfucker was out there popping cherries and then killing them, right? Like, he wasn't even giving a fuck. And that's how he became so powerful. He was going out there seeking Highlanders. As soon as he'd smell one, he'd go pop their cherry, make him a Highlander, immortal.
Make him an immortal.
Making him immortal. And then as soon as he knew they were immortal, he'd come back around and kill them. Before they ever had a chance to have, like, even Ramirez barely even had a chance to train him. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the immortals can't have kids.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I was agreeing with you. That's the only thing that doesn't hold with, like, Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, I mean, maybe he's still bedded that many women, and all of them just decided
Before
that,
he became immortal. Yeah.
No, not even just in general. And then they just said, yeah, the next kid that they have, they're just going to claim it's Khan's. Because, I mean, like, even the so, like, I know a sci-fi writer who's been digging into this, and he basically says that it's only the assumption that Khan bedded all those women, has all those children. All they know for certain is that there is a pocket in Southeast Asia where they can determine that majority of those people are one ancestor, but they also found the same thing true in Western Europe. Like,
You sure it just wasn't the same tribe that was?
Yeah, like, basically they're saying, like, the genetic things are so similar that it could have been, you know, 1,000 men, and you go back another 1,000 years, they all had the same ancestor, but then it just keeps on stacking up, because if you go back far enough in the genetic code, everybody is eventually going to come to the primordial ooze of
that's what I was thinking.
The species. And so I like to think that it's kind of funny that, yeah, Genghis Khan is all to that, but really it's probably not. It's probably someone else, or actually probably several dozen other men in that region.
Yeah. Russell Crowe is probably the 50-50 in this group. It's like, yeah, he's fine, but I think he could have done so much better.
Yeah.
He's taking any role he can these days. Like, he doesn't care.
Yeah. No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care one bit. No, I do like Russell Crowe, and he's had some fantastic films. He really has. I kind of feel like he's past his best by date.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's not
like,
built for this role.
He did Kraven the Hunter. I mean, he did that for the paycheck.
No, you could do so much better. That was my point. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, not a whole lot of people are knocking on his door for roles these days. Like, that's the other part too. And he also has some agents that are asking a little bit too much money for his value. Like, his quote is not where it should be. It's he's overselling himself.
Sledgehammer, as far as I know, yes, they are using the Queen songs in the soundtrack. So I would not be surprised.
It's like doing a Flash Gordon movie without the Queen song.
Right. Now you couldn't. You just couldn't. You know. So let's see what you guys are saying out there. Jason Webster says, coming soon from Disney, I'm dating a female Army Ranger starring Gina Carano. Maybe. Kind of like our little series we came up with, Script Doctor.
Mama Bear?
Mama Bear, where she's a CIA agent or whatever.
Yeah, she's a discreet agent, but also a housewife, and nobody in her family knows that she's the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like The Family Plan, only with Gina Carano.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. ActionCom says to determine if if Batista is a good fit, did his character Inspector scare you at all? I haven't seen Spectre.
That's the Bond film? Was he in Bond?
Yeah. He was in that one, I guess.
I forgot. Sorry.
At least it isn't Pedro Pascal. Kareem's in the house. Yeah, right. I loved Adrian Paul. I hope this new. See, I told you.
A lot of women love Adrian Paul.
Women love. I dated no less than
people
3
who
women.
like the show.
I dated no less than 3 women who have had Adrian Paul posters on their fucking wall.
Yep.
My son's mother was obsessed with Highlander. She stole my videotapes, the bitch. She took my theatrical cut of fucking Highlander 2. Sorry, Cece, go ahead.
I seem to get the ones with the Vin Diesel posters.
Well, that's the new Adrian Paul now. Like, I'm talking 20 years ago, right? Like, yeah, 30 years ago, maybe.
Well, Vin Diesel's posters don't show his belly, so that's.
Yeah, Adrian Paul's quite cut. And then Kareen says the female version Raven, which was trash. Yeah, I do actually have that series here, though. Yeah, they always manage to fuck it up somehow. Every time they seem to have a good thing going, they seem to fuck it up somehow. And it was like Endgame. Endgame should have been a good movie, but they fucked it up. It's like you have the ingredients here to make a good movie. And we already kind of figured that Connor wasn't going to make it out of this bitch alive, but we did not want him going out like that. That was like The Last Jedi before The Last Jedi. I think I've talked about this before.
It's okay. Just kill me.
Yeah, just kill me. It's like, you dumb fuck. These guys have been breaking the rules the whole movie. Fight together. That's what we want to see, is Connor and Duncan fighting side by fucking side. That's what we paid for. That's all we want.
Going back to back, killing some bastards. Yeah,
and then Connor dies in a blaze of glory. Yeah.
It's okay. Just kill me and take my power. I'm spent anyway. Just kill me.
I'm done. You need my power.
Just take my power.
God, that was so bad. Oh my God. I was so ready to fucking walk out of the theater. That movie made me so angry. It was almost worse than Highlander 2 in so many ways. You know?
Yes.
Because at least with Highlander 2, there's at least elements like Michael Ironside is fucking great.
Oh,
he's literally chewing the scenery in some scenes.
That movie is absolutely awful, but it is also
in a good way.
Bonkers in like a really good way. Like
exactly, it's one of those movies you get high or drunk with your buddies. You order a fucking pizza, and your one guy, he's like, "Wait, you've not seen Highlander 2 yet?"
Yeah.
Because that fight between him and the fucking punk fucking future guys, that's actually a pretty bitchin' fight. Like, and that takes up a good portion of the film. And then his fight with Michael Ironside in the steel plant or whatever it is, and then the final fight are actually pretty good.
No,
like, all
there's
that stuff's
absolutely
great.
Yeah, there's some great fight choreography in there. It's
Michael Ironside kills a baby in this bitch. Like nobody even pays attention to that shit. He fucking decides he's gonna fucking ramp up that fucking subway, and if you watch, there's like a kid and a baby just flying and shit. They're all dead. He kills them all.
Yeah,
it's like, geez, this movie has 0 fucks to give. Like on so many levels, and that's what I love about it. I don't like it in a way that it's a good movie. I just love that it just totally threw everything out the window and goes, we're just gonna fucking just go crazy with this shit. Like, it is a level of crazy that I've not seen in movies in a while. Let's put it that way. Maybe Morbius is the one thing that comes close to it. And everybody knows how much I love Morbius, so yeah.
That's funny.
And I do. I love Morbius.
I'll believe you.
But yeah, all right. Yeah, no, Michael Ironside's great in everything, right? Like, that's the thing. He's one of those actors where even in those shitty B movies that he always does, he's good in. He's just one of those guys that at least, you know, Clancy Brown was the same way, though, is the same way. So, like, you know, you just see him, you're like, oh, good, Clancy's here. Like, you know, he'll
be good. You'll get some good of it. I will always affiliate Ironside with See You at the Party, Richter.
Yeah. Oh, he was the villain in so many like B movies, you know, sword and sorcery films. Like,
exactly.
He's always giving it his all too.
Which is why he worked perfectly in the second film. It's like, well, of course, Michael Ironside is your next guy. You get, like, who else would it be? You know, like, what logical step do you have after Clancy Brown is the Kurgan? Because I mean, Clancy Brown was like, I don't even know if he was a real big actor yet at that point. And I mean, I don't even know if that even helped his career per se, but he just immortalized. He was iconic in that role that, you know, we to this day quoted. I mean, I'll quote it almost on a daily. Like, you know, whenever somebody says something, I get a chance to say, "Of course you are." or something like that, or even sometimes when I come into my house, I'm like, "Hi, Mom." She has no idea what I'm doing, but it's just me quoting the Kurgan. It's just, it's better to burn out than to fade away. Like, who doesn't say this shit once in a while? And you got to say it like he does. Anyhow, fuck it. Yeah, I mean, he did Bad Boys and a few other smaller pictures.
Yeah. Oh, he had so many great roles.
Yeah.
So many great roles.
Yeah. Clancy Brown and Sean Penn, yeah. He's great. The movie that people overlook him in and forget that he's in all the time and he's great in? Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's
Clancy
not
Brown?
playing,
Yeah, he's the guard.
Yeah, because he's not playing a fucking heavy. Like, he kind of is, but he's not playing the heavy.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's just a guard.
And he was a brilliant Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah,
That's true. That's true. But I love that because he's the guard that's going to throw fucking Tim Robbins off the roof.
His voice is what I hear for Lex Luthor when I read Superman comics.
You know how many people get freaked out when they realize that he's Mr. Crab?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
What?
He's also the Red Death in Venture Brothers.
You didn't know that, Nick?
Yes, the
No,
Red Death
I did
Adventure
not
Brothers.
know that. Holy shit!
Yeah, the Kurgan is Mr. Crab. Yeah.
Yep. Well, Clancy Brown is allergic to most makeup, so he likes to do voice acting, so he doesn't have to wear makeup.
Yeah.
Well, and he has a voice for
his,
it.
his voice is incredible.
I mean, he sounds like Telly Savalas. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he can go from doing the Kurgan to Mr. Crab. So, I mean, he's got the range. So,
Wow. My mind's blown. I did not know that at
SpongeBob.
all. What the hell?
You didn't know that? It's about like when people
did
find out that Uncle
not
Phil is the
know
Shredder.
That at
Yeah.
all.
Tonight I
Oh,
dine on turtle
man.
soup.
What is my life?
And we didn't care. We did
I
not
had a
care that a black
cheeseburger
man
earlier,
did his
and
voice.
that was my life earlier. So was the ice cream and the energy drink that followed. But then you follow up with this. This is just, it's been a day today. It's been a day.
Oh, Werewolf must not have been around. He says, Rip Hulk Hogan. It's true. You were finishing your book. What's your thoughts on that? Well, it's a sad loss, big loss for not just wrestling, but entertainment in general.
Never get that sequel to Suburban Commando.
No, it's not going to happen.
I still had hope.
It would be nice if we actually got a decent release of Suburban Commando.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I don't care.
I do too. Big fan. That's going to have to be a Toxic Tuesday.
That no holds barred.
No holds barred. Oh, you bet your
No
ass.
Holds
That's
Barred
not it.
falls
That's a
into that
win.
category of so bad it's good.
Well,
It's
No Holds
so
Barred
good.
is technically a little bit of a remake of It Happened One Night, but for wrestling. Because they actually have the wall of Jericho, like a big sheet between him and her to sleep on the same bed. I'm like, that's from It Happened One Night.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that now. It's been, of course, it's hard to. I mean, it's been released, but very.
Maybe that's what we'll
selectively.
do after 3 weeks of Charles Bronson. We'll do those two Hogan movies.
Oh, then you're gonna make me dig for them. I got access to Suburban Commando, but
Hey,
I'm gonna have
it's
to
worth
find
it.
fucking.
For
I have not seen
those
No Holds
movies,
Barred
it's
since
worth
like
it.
1987 or whatever year it was.
It's so good. You gotta watch
It's been a long time, maybe 90s, but still. But
That's
did you
got
see?
Joan Severance in it too, right? Is
I
it
don't
Joan Severance
remember.
or is it another woman?
But did you see
I
that
can't remember.
the whatever they're called, TKO Inc. or whatever, the company that it like tanked their stock did today?
Oh, because of the ESPN PLE thing going on?
I guess.
Because,
yeah,
they're going to put their pay-per-views, which is now they've rebranded to PLEs in 2026. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, geez, guys, that is... I would like to know what the context of that deal is besides money, unless that literally
Well, didn't it
is
just
all that
piss a
it
bunch
is.
of fans off? I thought I saw something or other, but I didn't really.
Yeah, I mean, at least online. As far as like people, I guess you could say out in the world, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to find out how that goes. It could definitely be a bad move. I saw it was like 5 years, so they could pivot after 5 years, or if it goes really bad, break out of it sooner, because they have the PLEs on Peacock, which is where they also have their vault of all the old wrestling from 4 or 5 decades, and they only had Raw on Netflix but now this really breaks things up because for those who like to be completists, I'm not one of them, but for those who are, you have SmackDown and basic cable. You can't control cable because you pay for one channel, you pay for all of them. You have Netflix for Raw, Peacock so you can watch the old stuff, and then you have to have this ESPN thing, which is an additional $30 just to watch the monthly PLEs, which is like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, yada yada. So I don't have cable, so I pick my poison with my kids. Sorry, kids, can't have it all. So that's the one that's been the sacrificial lamb.
Well, speaking of sports, did you see that the WNBA has come out and said a statement on this whole dildo business?
Oh, dude, that shit's hilarious.
Well, no, this is Coach Reeves, I guess. Coach Reeves is saying, and you guys should listen. This is not funny. This is a little dehumanizing.
No, it's very serious.
Throwing things onto the court. Obviously, you guys know what the object is, and I just want to comment on this has been going on for centuries. The sexualization of women. This is the latest version of that. And it's not funny. And it should not be the butt of jokes on any radio shows or in print or any comments. The sexualization of women is what's used to hold women down.
Oh my God, they're throwing dildos.
Says
Get off
me.
yourself.
That's why
Jesus,
they
Mary.
clinic
lifts them
behind
up.
her.
Men go to war over the sexualization of women. I mean,
Yes.
I was going to say, are
Also-
you kidding me? Give a man a purpose and he'll fucking... Yeah,
Hey, I got news for you guys. Those green dildos are getting more viewers than your regular games are
Oh,
getting.
fuck.
So
Stop. They're getting more coverage because of them.
You're right.
they
You're
have
not
literally
wrong.
viewership has
Profitable.
doubled.
They have never been
You
a
really want those
profitable
bigger contracts.
organization. Ever.
You know,
Take the
I keep
press.
seeing these things of Skeletor, and it almost makes me want to do an animated series of Skeletor where he's basically just like a frat boy.
he's just
You wanna
trolling.
know-
trolling
Yeah, he's just
everybody.
basically Stifler. Just runs around the world being Stifler. Just
You want to know how unpopular the WNBA is? The only way you can mention one of the players in the game outside of that
Twice or
Caitlin
twice.
Clark, I think her name is by saying WNBA player so and so. You can
Yeah.
mention a name like Sammy Sosa, and you'll know from baseball, or Hulk Hogan from wrestling. You can't name outside of even Caitlin Clark's debatable. You can't mention a single WNBA player, maybe
Well, there's
outside of her.
Livy
That's a
Dunn,
maybe.
isn't that another one I've seen?
Haven't heard of
all
her.
the ones I know are for the wrong reason, right? Like, and you're not wrong. The WNBA basically needs their first Michael Jordan, not Caitlin Clark. Like,
They don't
that's
even have
not
a
happening.
Scottie Pippen.
Or even that, or a Magic Johnson. They need somebody to kind of get.
Magic Johnson.
they got a Magic Johnson. People
Yeah, they
throwing
got a
on
lot
the
of
court.
Magic Johnsons going thrown on the court.
I mean, that's what those should be calling that event. It's like,
Technically, they
okay, it's the
already
Magic
got
Johnson
that.
event, and then you start throwing dildos on the court, just like
So one
you
time
do
you can
that
fuck a
on
Magic
the,
Johnson and
the
not
ice.
get AIDS.
Oh, that was good.
I'm going to hell for that one.
I'll see you there, man. I'll make sure I bring some burgers and ice cream.
Well, they asked Magic if he still had AIDS, and he said no. And they're like, "Are you positive?" He's like, "Yes, I'm HIV positive."
Oh, Christ.
That's old. I'm sorry.
funny.
Yeah, that is very. Yes. Yes. Yeah, a little sad joke there, unfortunately.
But necessary.
Have I seen the animated Skeletor and Hot Ones? No, I did not. That would be funny. Who did it voice? I'm curious. Was it actually? Oh God, no, I just lost his name. From the original show. Anyway, I doubt it. But anyhow, too soon. He's still with us. I think he beat it. I think South Park wasn't wrong when all you need to beat AIDS is just money.
Oh, I mean, there's a bunch of people who have actually been literally been counted as cured. They've got the drug cocktail down and everything, and it's not even particularly expensive.
Figures they have a
So-
cocktail for it.
Yeah.
Alan Oppenheimer. Jeez, I couldn't think of his name for a minute there. I don't know
Oh, for
why.
Skeletor, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if he was doing the voice on a Hot Ones, I'd probably watch it. But otherwise, I don't know. Like, yeah. I mean, I do a pretty
Vaughn
good
one is really good. Dude is really sharp.
Yes, Magic Johnson is definitely still alive. Last I checked.
No magic needed there.
Nope. But it is sad that they wasted one of the best porn names on a basketball.
I know, right? Biggest missed opportunity ever. Oh,
Starring Magic Johnson. I mean, he does penis magic, folks.
Oh man.
Lord. All right, kids, let's get the fuck out of here. R2, what you got going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. I will be joining The Price of Reason this evening for the Night Owl, 11:45 p.m. 11:45 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. Over on Price of Reason Live, talking about all sorts of different stuff. Probably going back over some of these things, but who knows? And then I will be joining. This is a big one here. The B-roll stage channel that I'm usually on. Friday evenings, we riff on movies, kind of Mystery Science Theater style. They will be doing their 100th show.
That sounds interesting.
Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, that channel is B-roll stage. Yeah. So yeah,
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and it may be the last show on YouTube too.
Ever? No more shows on YouTube's?
They're gonna I think the plan is to ditch YouTube because they have been repeatedly denied monetization on YouTube.
They're gonna ditch you. I thought you meant like YouTube was never gonna let anybody stream again.
No. They're probably their last show on YouTube, at least.
Gotcha. Kind of like
they're just
radio.
Sick and tired of all of the BS with YouTube. Yeah. But I don't know. Well, I'm sure they'll talk about it some tomorrow.
Then Jason Webster sends in another 5 Australian to say threw dildos on the court because they were fresh out of octopus. Oh. It's hard to keep fresh octopus.
Yeah.
I love this timeline.
Yeah. Oh, Detroit Red Wings, man.
It's not funny, guys. Stop it.
It's gonna make me laugh harder.
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing to do. I'll just go out there and say it's not funny. It's like, yeah, it totally fucking is.
I mean, if they wanted to stop it, to say throw more.
Yeah, shit. It's like you're wasting your money on perfectly good fucking.
I mean, they should be actually
dildos.
selling those dildos at the stadium so that they could actually make commercial.
You know, you get to a point with some of these things, they eventually will just be like, you can't beat them, join them, and you're going to see a guy going up and down the fucking aisle. Dildos here. Get your dildos here. I got green ones. I got pink ones. I got orange ones.
And
their names written on the side.
Yeah, they're licensed. They should be licensed.
Officially licensed.
Branded. Yeah.
Do you want one with veins?
Remember, only throwing in between quarters, guys. Only in between quarters. That's right.
Oh man.
No hitting in the head on purpose. No.
We've got 6-inch and foot longs.
They got single-sided. They got two-sided. They got, we
got the anaconda, but that's 50. You got 50?
Yeah, wow. And if you don't have a throwing arm, we have a cannon that you can launch them into.
If you don't got a throwing arm, we have a shake weight. We're bringing back the shake weight. We can get a throwing arm.
During halftime, they've got people on the court.
No, we don't have vibrators anymore
cannons.
because, they were too unpredictable. They'd hit the floor and they'd bounce all over the fucking place, and then we'd be chasing them for fucking 10 minutes. No more vibrators.
Rubber dildos, some of the ones with the suction cup on the side. See if you can get it.
Those are fun.
The backboard.
Yeah.
Those are fun. We will give you a free T-shirt if you can hit one of the players and it sticks.
Oh man!
Well, we can fix the problem with the air cannons. We'll wrap the dildos in a T-shirt and then
there
fire
you go.
Them to the audience.
I threw a dildo at a WNBA game, is what it says.
I know what yeah.
Oh shit! That's what I would say. Lean into it. Fuck it at this point. Like.
Yeah,
This is something we got.
If those basketball players they say that they deserve to be paid better, well, you can make some extra money by selling dildos at the entrance for them to throw on the court.
We're gonna make money for these dildos by selling dildos. That's a good idea.
I mean, it's literally the most attention their league has ever had.
You're not wrong. Aside from when what's her face was in jail, yeah, like Brett Nivernier
I
or whatever.
forgot
That
about
didn't
her.
even-
What's her name?
that didn't even-
Just WNBA
Yeah.
girl who was in jail.
They're like, save her. Who? Then you see pictures. They're like, that's not a chick. What the fuck is this? We've been catfished. We've been catfished by a fucking tranny. Put him back in prison. Put him back. No.
Oh, fuck.
The Michael Jordan. Has the little Air Jordan symbol on it.
Nike brand.
Shadow of
Yeah.
Adidas and Nike brand. There you go. There you go.
Oh, fuck.
Up your game with the Michael Jordan.
You put
Glow
one
in
with
the dark
wings, you call
green
that the Larry
dildo.
Bird.
Oh.
The Larry
I
Bird. It
can't.
flies.
I believe
It's got little wings, see? We don't advise you actually use it as a sex toy. But
Yeah, but then you got a very flaccid one that you call the LeBron James.
oh, shit. The King LeBron. Lord almighty. I did not expect to end the show talking about fucking dildos.
Yeah, you can.
I
Clip
brought
it,
that
put it on
upon
as a
myself.
short now on your channel.
I did that as on my own. We're probably making a short shit. I'll probably get in trouble just for showing that video. It's not funny, guys.
You know, you have a special glow in the dark night where you shut out all the lights, so all the green dildos are
Yes.
flying.
Yes.
That's what I'm waiting for is
Yes.
the glow in the dark ones. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh Lord. Oh shit. Anyway, script, what you got coming up? Scripts on Saturdays?
Scripts on Saturdays, yeah. Back to the live show because we had some technical snafu last week. And I mean, again, this is the first time I've been off in the evening hours where I haven't had to be working, so I'm happy to be here. I'm also going to be joining Price of Reason show tonight. Talk some Quantum Leap revisited. Went a little Porky Pig there.
I have that problem quite often. We also have CC. What you got going on? Anything? You need to do some karaoke.
Nah. I'm thinking about it. Otherwise, I'm just
Stop
playing video
thinking
games.
and start doing.
You know, it's the summer, man. The sun's shining in my face at 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, what the fuck? Karaoke is a nighttime activity. So I find excuses.
I've never had a harder time getting a junkie to take the fucking drug my entire life as I have with CC trying to get him to do karaoke anymore. It's like, CC, karaoke? Can you imagine that? Be like, hey, junkie, what? I got some crack. They'd be like,
Really? Really?
what I got to do?
It kind of played out.
I'll suck your dick. I know you didn't say I had to yet, but I will. Anyway, Nick, you're bringing back Toxic Tuesday next week, aren't you?
Next week, Charles.
But anyway,
Bronson,
check out CC's
Mr.
channels, even
Majestic.
though he doesn't do karaoke anymore.
Yeah, Toxic Tuesday returns. Charles Bronson's Mr. Majestic. Claudy's Comic Shop, Saturday night, 6 p.m. Central. And of course, subscribe to the Bonded by Metal channel if you haven't. We actually did a video that came out this morning called What is Selling Out? I think that's a great hot button topic that's used a bit broadly. We decided to define it and who are the culprits of it. So do subscribe to both channels. I am very
Give us a
productive
teaser. Who's
on
one of the
both
people
them.
that sold out?
Oh, man, you're gonna do that.
We know it's not Lemmy.
No. Let me as a stick to your guns as it gets. Well, the easiest one everyone's gonna say when Metallica put out the Black
There you go.
Album.
See, that's all I needed is just one. You say the Black Album? I go more Reloaded, but
Oh, for me,
Load
the
and
Black
Reloaded.
Black Album was for
I
me.
kinda
That was
like
my
the Black
selling
Album.
point.
But
I
I
hate
guess I
with a
see what you're
boiling
saying.
passion. With a raging passion, but it's okay. Different strokes and folks. No dildo
All
pun
right, so
intended.
check that out. See what the other bands are. He muted himself, so yes. Anyhow, check out Nick's channel and me. You never know where you'll find me, but I will probably be on the morning show tomorrow. So find us there. We'll definitely be talking some more Gina Carano, I'm sure, among other things. So take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you on the next episode.